Stuck, delayed, and closed. Those are just some of the things that we are seeing from the day long of snowfall. While it's tapered off tonight, we are still feeling its impact into the overnight hours. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 10 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Want to get straight to our top story tonight. That, of course, the weather, the snow and the cold temperatures. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick standing by in the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. Thomas, the snow tapered off, but it's going to freeze again tonight. So it sounds like tomorrow the roads may be a challenge, and you're tracking yet another storm heading our way.
Yeah, still a lot to cover. It's like one storm system after another, especially since about last week. But yeah, road conditions going to be tricky because it's not actively snowing anymore, but with our temperatures below zero, whatever melted but didn't evaporate is going to refreeze during the overnight hours. So just don't be taken off guard by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Also a slight breeze, as you might have just heard on my microphone, so a wind chill getting pushed down to about 19 degrees for the feels like temperature. But yes, it has significantly cleared out in terms of snowfall across the inland northwest tonight. Probably not expecting snow until about the midday hours for tomorrow, but there it is in our forecast. Between about 9 and noon, probably 9 to 1 o'clock is a good time frame for a bit more light snow. Temperatures getting right up to 32 degrees, so a lot of the snow is going to stay pretty slushy. It's super messy in a lot of side streets and parking lots that had very little treatment, so it's still going to be a tough go on a lot of side streets across town. But a significant weather system is already in the works. This is looking like a doozy of a weather system that moves through Wednesday night and into Thursday. So coming up, I'm going to detail what to expect with this next major weather system and just how much longer we're going to be dealing with the snow chances throughout the course of this week. A lot to cover in my forecast in a few moments.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. The snow is impacting everything from roads to power and pretty much everything in between. So let's get you caught up to date tonight. Travel through Washington's mountain passes has been tough all day long. Snoqualmie Pass just opened after being closed for hours today. White Pass has been closed all day. At Stevens Pass, it's been on and off of closure since this morning, so certainly check before you go. Also, if you live in Spokane Valley and did not get your trash picked up, well, you can guess why. It was due to all the snow. The snowfall and road conditions prevented waste management, they say, from picking up garbage today. Anyone who is supposed to have it picked up can leave it out. They'll be picking up tomorrow if conditions allow, they said. Well, if you're out enjoying all the new snow, we want to see it. Send us your winter wonderland photos using the Near Me section of the KREM 2 app, or you can just text those photos our way to that number right there on your screen, 509-448-2000. And when you send us your pictures, give us a brief description of where you took that picture from. Well, in other news, a lot happened today in COVID news, so let's get right to it. Teens could soon be eligible for booster shots. The FDA is recommending Pfizer's booster for kids ages 12 to 15. They are also recommending shortening the waiting period between your initial doses and your booster shot. It would be shortened to 5 months instead of 6 months. The CDC still has to sign off on that decision, but it's expecting to be made sometime this week, so more to come on that one. New tonight, Starbucks is prepping for President Biden's vaccine or test mandate. It's asking all U.S. employees to share their vaccination status by January 10th. If they aren't fully vaccinated by February 9th, when that mandate goes into effect, they'll need a negative COVID test no more than 7 days before their next shift. Then they'll have to test once a week, and at-home tests will not be accepted, the company said. And taking a closer look at COVID cases in our region, we are so far not seeing a big jump in cases or hospitalizations like other parts of the country with that new Omicron variant. However, the Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 203 new cases from the holiday weekend, and 67 people are currently hospitalized due to the virus. One new death is also being reported. Meantime, in North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District is reporting 265 new COVID cases today. 61 people are hospitalized due to the virus right now, and 3 new deaths were also reported. Throughout the pandemic, we have heard how important it is to get tested. Even in 2022, 2 years in, that can still be a challenge. New at 10 tonight, KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk shows us how you can potentially get a COVID test and results in the same day.
Drugstores like Walgreens sell take-home COVID tests for around $20, but many locations have been out of stock for weeks. COVID testing is in high demand. The lines at both Spokane County drive-through testing sites wrapped around buildings. Right now, there's a good chance you'll save time going to an urgent care clinic.
So the amount of testing that we're doing is higher than ever before. The need is really, really high.
Stephanie Cowan-Johnson of Multicare says even though tests are in high demand, most patients are getting in the same day at local Indigo urgent care clinics.
The sooner you can come in, the better. And so if you know that you need testing today or tomorrow, certainly try to get an appointment first thing in the morning. So we do open up our appointments in the morning. If there's no appointment available, we certainly accept all walk-ins. And when you come in, we'll let you know what the wait time is looking like and let you know what your place in line is, and then how to check that on your phone so you can monitor that throughout the day.
Once checked in, patients get a swab in each nostril. Those samples get tested on site.
The test itself takes 20 minutes on the machine, although we would never guarantee that turnaround time.
Multicare says most tests are delivered the same day or within 24 hours.
It's just kind of how many tests are ahead of you that we need to run before we get to your test.
Indigo clinics also use molecular-based tests.
It's much different than the home antigen test or the test that you can buy over the counter at the grocery store or the pharmacy.
They're also more accurate. Multicare is not the only walk-in clinic around town. Providence offers COVID tests at Express Care and urgent care clinics around Spokane. COVID tests are free, but if you don't have health insurance, you may have to pay out of pocket to see a specialist, unlike the free drive-through testing sites in Spokane County. Reporting in Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
New tonight, 3 Washington state legislators used taxpayer money to attend a conference by MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell. That's according to a report by the Seattle Times. The conference, which largely focused on election conspiracies, was in South Dakota last summer. State Republican Representatives Robert Sutherland, Vicky Kraft, and Brad Klippert attended. The Seattle Times reports they requested and received expense reimbursements from the legislature for the conference. It says the state paid more than $4,300 for their hotels and flights. Kraft and Sutherland have defended themselves, saying they'll use information from the conference to develop and introduce election-related legislation in the upcoming legislative session. KREM 2 has now confirmed that 11 children were taken into protective custody after a fire in the backyard of a Spokane house yesterday. According to a Spokane Fire Department documents, when firefighters arrived, there were, quote, a lot of children taken out of the house. According to that report, the house presented hoarder conditions for the children living there. The children were taken to the hospital to be evaluated and are now in the care of CPS. The Pullman-Neal Public Library Board is meeting tomorrow to discuss removing a painting of Thomas Jefferson in their entrance. The board received 4 emails, they said, expressing concerns about Jefferson's history with slavery in the U.S. They are asking for a more appropriate figure to stand in the entrance. Tomorrow's meeting will be on Zoom at 5 p.m. State lawmakers proposed a new bill aimed to help identify and locate missing Indigenous women and people. House Bill 1725 would function the same way as a silver alert, which is used when a vulnerable adult goes missing. So when activated, the alert would broadcast details of the missing person to various platforms like highway signs and local media outlets across the state. The proposed bill comes after Indigenous survivors and family members spoke with state lawmakers about that issue just last month. Well, Idaho is now the 9th fastest growing state in the U.S., at least according to data for the U.S. U-Haul Index. People coming in one-way U-Hauls increased by more than 1% year after year. In the entire state, North Idaho saw the most growth in areas like Moscow, Coeur d'Alene, and Post Falls. After a long wait for the U.S. and Canada border to reopen, there's now a new challenge. Why visitors from Canada are having a hard time getting back into their country. Coming up after the break.